All right, welcome back to the channel. Y'all see the title of the video. Gonna do a quick little preview on Uconn versus USC women's basketball teams. The game is gonna happen this upcoming Saturday. And if you're familiar with my channel, I always used to do these little preview videos and say who I think is gonna win and the X factors of the game and whatnot. But I really feel like more so in this game, why it's super highly anticipated out of all the women's college basketball games that's going to happen this year, it's because Jazzy Davidson and Sarah Starr are going to go up against each other. And I feel like these two players are honestly, listen to what I'm saying, because it's going to be kind of hard for y'all to disagree with me in the chat, right? Jazzy Davidson and Sarah Strong, they are the most complete basketball college players right now. Both of them are the most complete players in women's college hoops to me. They have none of them. They don't have no weaknesses. They both can shoot the three ball, can shoot middies. They both can get to the rim. They're both really good perimeter defensive players. They're both true two-way basketball players because they're really great offensively and defensively. Jazzy Davidson is about 6'1", 6'2", so she's mobile and quick enough because she's a guard and a forward. She's a hybrid. Just like Sarah Strong is. Sarah Strong is also 6'1" and 6'2". They're both versatile. They can do everything. They can guard and defend, ones and twos and threes. And they're big enough and, have good enough length to even guard the interior and be, good interior defensive players. They just, it's kind of hard to pinpoint the weaknesses that Jazzy Davidson and Sarah Strong has. Even in my last video, some person commented, hey, shout out to you if you're watching this joint, shout out to you, bro. But he said, nah, he didn't agree with me. He basically said, nah, Sarah Strong is the most complete player in women's college basketball, right? And I'm not even mad at that take, I give the edge more so to Jazzy, but hey, again, these two are both true, complete, all-around basketball players. So I'm not mad at that. And I feel like more people are going to pay attention to this matchup. Sarah's a sophomore. Jazzy's the freshman. Jazzy's more perimeter-oriented, I would say. Quicker, better at the guard spot, slightly better ball handling, and a slightly better perimeter defensive player. And, Sarah is, more so kind of more of a true forward, versatile, inside out, can post up. She definitely does that better than, Jazzy, post up, back to basket game. She's definitely, a better rebounder, of course, because she is bigger, like in size wise, although they're like the same height. She's slightly bigger. And she can finish inside more. She can pass, step out, and, defend multiple positions. And I feel like Sarah's just more physical. You feel me? And Jazzy, she got like a physicality wise, she's a slimmer girl. I'm a skinny ninja myself, so it is what it is. But she's a smaller frame. So, she's likely just guarding the perimeter and wings. You feel me? But yeah, Jazzy, her ceiling is so high. So although she's a freshman, you might see like inconsistencies in some games because there's a lot of games where she took like a good amount of shots and she didn't make them. But I like that about her. You feel me? She got confidence. I feel like this field goal percentage is going to go up by the end of the season for sure. The field goal percentage is definitely going to go up. I can see her finishing the year off shooting, I'm going to be honest, probably like 46, 47%. She's a freshman. She's getting used to it. She ain't like Sarah Strong right now. As y'all can see, she's shooting 58% from the field. And that's, again, because, she's more of a forward. She plays more inside. She has more shot attempts closer to the basket than her. So, yeah, I still feel like, Jazzy's going to get that field goal percentage up. She takes more outside shots. And she's taking a lot of threes. So I like that. She's playing with confidence. Because that's so important in hoops. You got to play with confidence. Okay? I always say who I think is going to win when I do these preview videos. But, man, look at the matchup predictor that ESPN gives Uconn. 86%. Damn. Y'all really don't believe in USC? Like, UConn, they play in the really weak Big East. No disrespect to them, to that conference, you know. Shout out to all of them. But UConn is just levels above everyone in that conference. So it's like they aren't playing bump. And I always say this, when I say bump, where I'm from, that means competition. Like tough competition. Like, are they really playing real competition? You know, most of the games. Like, they beat DePaul, like, by some crazy number, bro. It was a crazy number that they beat DePaul by. Yeah, look at that. 102-35. Like, bro, at the end of the second quarter, if I'm the ref, I'm going to just tell DePaul, like, bro, can y'all wave their white towels? Like, this is not even fair. You know? But I'll say this. X Factor, for sure, is going to be AZ Fudd. She is lethal. She's a true sharpshooter. You know? If you just look at her game, man, look at that. 18 points, 49% from the field. And look at that 3-point percentage. She's shooting 53% from 3-point range, making 3.4 out of 6.4 3-point attempts per game. She's a shooter. She's a gunner. You know, half of her baskets are from threes. So that is her game. That is her play style. And whoever drafts her, they're going to be really lucky, man. I feel like AZ Fudd is going to be good. As long as the injuries don't mess her up, bro. Whichever team in the WNBA drafts her is going to be, they're going to be happy with her game and what she can bring for them. But yeah, Sarah Strong, I feel like she's going to have a big game too, you know. But the X factors for USC is going to be her, Kara Dunn, the former Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket, you know, really good player. She shoots the ball with confidence. She's shooting the three ball much better this season. And she's taking a good amount of threes. You know, she's taking, look at that, yeah, 3.7, almost 4 threes a game. But she's shooting it at a 39% rate, which is really good because a good 3-point percentage to shoot is anywhere that's like 36% and higher, right? So, you know, averaging double digits, 11 points on pretty good efficiency, you know, especially for a shooting guard. You know, 47% is pretty good because, you know, you're mostly taking perimeter shots. So it's a good percentage, but she has to do that even more so in this game. And Kenny Smith, another one of my favorites on the roster. She's going to have to shoot the ball more consistently, shoot the ball better and consistently, right? Like, you know, make most of your shots. She's taking a good amount of threes, but not making them. I know her game is more so defense. She plays defense more than offense. That's more of her play style. She's a defensive specialist. She likes to defend and all that. But you gotta score the ball. You know, you gotta score the ball. London Jones, love her game. She's another 3-point specialist as well. Another 3-point shooter. Most of her shot attempts are threes. She likes to shoot the 3-ball, you know. So, yeah. She has to shoot the ball really good. I feel like she should be gunning more in this game. She has to take more shot attempts. It just can't be Jazzy, you know, trying to score and do everything, you know, on the offensive side of the ball. Because she does everything else so well. She's going to get hers. You feel me? But it's like somebody else got to bring that offensive punch. Again, Kara got to shoot the ball really good. And I feel like Lynn Jones got to shoot the ball really good. And Kenny Smith, I feel like she's going to be, I don't know if they're going to have Kenny mostly on Sarah Strong. We'll see how that goes. They might, Coach Lizzie Gopley might switch her between her and Jazzy, you know, depending on what happens. But, yeah, Malia Samuels, I like her. Her numbers don't really show you how good she is. I like Malia Samuels because if you watch the games, she hustles more than everyone. You know, she's playing like, you know, full court press defense on the opposing guard. You know, just a tough player. You know, sometimes she hits like big shots. She hits really, really big, clutch, timely buckets, man. So I like her game a lot, dude. But yeah, this is gonna be an interesting one. I can't leave the video without saying who I think I'm gonna win because people used to, you know, not like that. And I don't agree with this ESPN matchup predictor. I feel like it's too high, man. Even if you think Uconn gonna win, because yeah, you know, Uconn. I don't know, bro. I don't know. All right, let me not bam out. I'll say I expect Sarah Strong to, control the boards because she had a game where she had like 20 boards one time, like crazy stuff, dude. I know I'm not tweaking, right? She had a 20 rebound game. Yeah. Look at that. Against Michigan. Yeah, look at that. 16 points, 20 boards. Again, Jack Davidson is just as good as a rebounder, but Sarah crashed them joints. And she's bigger, so she's going to get them boards. But, yeah, I expect Sarah to control the boards, influence the game. Of course, with her scoring and defense and using her versatility. But, hey, if AZ is just knocking them threes, she's hitting like 4 out of 5 threes like she did in the previous game. She's just knocking stuff down. Then it's gonna be a Uconn victory. But the key for USC, for the Trojans, they gotta limit turnovers, bro. Do not turn over the ball with Uconn, man. And again, they're gonna need another consistent shooter. They're gonna need another consistent shooter / scorer. They gotta hit threes. Keep the pressure on them in the perimeter. Make the game competitive. You feel me? Might even be an upset. I remember last year around this time when Uconn and Southern California played each other. Ironically, it literally was like around the same time last year. And it was different teams because Kiki Arafin was there, Juju was playing. Uconn had Paige and all that. But yeah, I predicted USC to win. And USC was up by like a major lead. And then at one point, Uconn came back and, the game went to OT, but USC ended up still winning it. It was one of the better games last year. So it's going to be interesting to see. And I don't remember if the matchup predictor gave Uconn like a super high winning percentage over USC that game last year. But, yeah, I had USC winning, USC won. And right now, I'm going to say USC because y'all know I'm on the Jazzy Davidson hype train. I feel like that's baby GOAT on the way. She's going to be a future GOAT, bro. Y'all just got to believe me. I know my eyes are showing me, bro. I just love her game. Like, I've watched most of the games this year just because of her, really. And she's playing really, really good basketball. And, she had like a really tough game. I wanted to show that. Just some clips of it. You feel me? Against Washington. And Washington is ranked 21st. I'm sure the ranking is going to change next week, obviously. But look what she did, man. Again, she can get to the rim. And look at the numbers. 22 points, 12 boards, 4 assists, 2 blocks. Look at that. Good block. Let me go back. I'm talking too much, man. Look at that. First possession. Come here. Look at that. She falling down. Layup with the left hand. She a lefty. Look at that. Block. Block party. You bring the chips. Use the screen. Look at that. Mid-range at the right elbow. Look at that. Mid-range at the top of the key. Look at that. Look at how she dribbles. Keeps the ball low. And she gets all the way to the rim. Look at that extendo finger roll. Look at that. Mid-range money. She's so cold, bro. Look at that. Look at that. Why got 3-pointers all day? Why got... Her 3-ball going to be even more lethal because she keeps shooting it with confidence. Look at that. Again, 3. Why got 3 in the left corner? Look at that. Good defense. That was a good contest. They passed it to her. Look at that. She's running the break. Good dime to Miss Jones. You feel me? Look at that. Rebound. Nice way to look up to Kenny Smith to get an easy basket. That was a good pass. Again, she even has a good playmaking ability. Like I said, she has no weaknesses. Tough runner in the lane. Y'all get the gist. I'm on the hype train, bro. I'm telling you, this is going to be baby GOAT. Shout out to Jazzy Davidson. All right. But yeah, I got USC winning, but like it's going to be like a game where it's within 5 to 10 points. I don't think it's going to be a blowout at all. It's going to be tough, But yeah, you guys tell me your thoughts and opinions about this game. Who y'all think is going to win? Do you agree with me? You think USC is going to win this matchup? And what are your thoughts on Jazzy Davidson and Sarah Strong? They play really good basketball. These two girls are really good. It's going to be incredible to see what they do when they get to the pros. Because I still feel like if the WNBA didn't have that rule where you got to be 22 years old, I feel like they're league ready. I feel like they can play in the WNBA right now and be really good. But hey, that's just my thoughts and opinions. Y'all tell me yours. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm not sure if I'll do a post-game reaction to this because I always usually do that after I do the preview videos. But hey, we'll see. We'll see. But hey, stay posted. I'm definitely going to upload a couple times more in this month. All right? Till next time.